in. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, handling some family and work related stuff. But I'm back, guys. I am back, ready to get this thing going. Nailing down some guests to come up. I'll holler at you, LA, about uh, times and stuff just to make sure I'm on point. I got a couple of guests coming up in about 2 weeks or so. So really excited about that. Some guys that I've been wanting to get on the show for the longest. So that's going to happen. But hey, shout out to everyone that hit me up asking, hey, where's the podcast? And then saying that they use this time to catch up on older episodes for those that came late. So I appreciate it. Shout out to you guys for checking out the shorts. I really appreciate that. And then checking out the episodes. So a couple of you guys hit me up saying you saw the shorts. That's what made you subscribe. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I really can't say that enough. I'm one of those guys that one like for my podcast, it's equivalent to like when I sell a book or something. Like the pride I feel from people I don't know saying they appreciate my work. I inspired them. I encouraged them. Just all the kind words. I really appreciate. Don't stop. I'm telling you, that's what fuels me to keep going. Like those days where I just don't feel like I have it in me. It's those moments when I read a comment or someone reaches out. It really, really moves me. And for those that are interested in or inspired by me to write books and things, feel like they got a book in them. I feel like everybody has a book in them. I got some exciting news to share about me as far as being an author and all that type of stuff. But I'll save that for the end because today we're going to talk about empowering Black minds. So I got 10 things I'm going to hit you guys with to broaden your horizon as far as your outlook on life, to get you going. Because I feel like everybody has greatness in them. A lot of people don't discover what their greatness is. And a lot of times we struggle doing the wrong thing. So it's good to expand your mind, try new things and all that. And I hope this list, even if you can't do all of them, as adults, we don't really have time to do a bunch of different things, but just make sure the few things you can do, make them count. So I'm going to jump right into it. I got 10 things, and these aren't in any particular order. So when I say 1, 2, don't worry about that. Helps me keep up with which one I'm on, looking at my iPad. But so I want to dive right in. And one of the biggest ones is pursuing higher education. So I know a lot of my audience are adults and everything, and that's possibly the most difficult thing on my list to get back into is to finding time to go to school and everything. And if you have kids, your full-time job, your social life, which I think is important, having a social life. I'm starting to really realize that now. You still got to find time for you. But going back to school, even on like a part-time basis kind of thing, to give you a new perspective on things. Like you learn from other people as well, like the people you're going to school with, the younger crowd. And trust me, when I was going to school, I was in school with 18-year-olds, and then I had people in their 60s going back to school. So it's one of those things like where it's never too late to get a higher education, especially if you know what field you're trying to go into. It may require that. You may have to go beyond just watching YouTube videos. Some things require you to get taught from a true professional. And it's the credibility part too. Like, there are certain professions that you can't skip over that. Like if you want to be a doctor and things like that, you can't skip over going to school and just say, well, now I've watched several videos, I'm good on that. Certain things you have to go back to school for. So I challenge you, if that's something you've been thinking about going back, do it. Like look for scholarships, and there's financial aid, obviously, but there's scholarships for like my women audience, like for women that are trying to go back to school, as well as guys. You just got to dig for it and search that there's resources that can help you if you're trying to get back to school. So those are one of the things I've made notes of, that I'm going to try to find those resources so I can, share them Like if you follow me on social media, that's one of the things I'm going to share. Probably do a blog post on my website with those links and resources so that you can just access daddyeveryday.org to get that. So I'll have that coming soon. So higher education is one thing you can do to help continue to learn and thrive. So number 2 is reading. And this goes like to nonfiction and fiction. I say like I haven't read a nonfiction book in forever, and I used to enjoy it so much. So now everything I do is centered around topics on fatherhood, obviously business and things like that, which helps obviously, of course, as far as me expanding my empire that I'm building. But like getting into nonfiction too is a great way to expand your mind and learn about different things. Or maybe I said that wrong. I read nonfiction. I need to get back into fiction type stuff as well. Or both, actually, because I haven't read like books. I've been reading like articles like you see online and things like that. But I want to get back into like really reading. Like the other day I saw the Da Vinci Code on TV. And I read the Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown back in the day when everybody was reading it. And so I read that. Then I read Angels and Demons, and then Digital Fortress, these other books by him. And Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons were two books that were turned into movies. And before then, I had never read a book that was turned into a movie. Because like, when you go see Harry Potter and all those other things, people always like, the book was better. And now I get it, because in reading, you really use your imagination more. Like, of course, the book will tell you things, but you fill in the gaps of everything. When it describes what the person looks like, it's your vision of what that person looks like. So, like, we can read it and how they describe the main character can look similar if we both compared our thoughts on it, but it'll be different because of how our minds work. So reading is a great way to truly expand your mind and not have all the information given to you. Some of the things you have to fill in. So I definitely enjoy reading. I just need to do it more on a higher level. And then different types of books. Like I still say you should read personal development type books, like anything that helps make you a better person, a better parent, a better entrepreneur. I encourage you to do, and start small. Like you don't have to start trying to read a novel. If you haven't read in a while, because I know there's people who almost wear it like a badge of honor that they don't read, which is crazy to me. I wouldn't brag about that, but it's something that you should be doing daily. It doesn't have to take up hours of your day. I say get in a routine of reading like maybe 10 pages a day. That's roughly 10 minutes. I know we all got 10 minutes. We always say we're super busy, but busy and productive are two different things. So if you're busy, that's stuff that you don't have to do. You're just keeping your time occupied. Productive is when you're doing stuff that's moving the needle in your life in the right direction. So make sure you're using the word properly, busy and productive type thing, and keep that in mind, because we all have 10 minutes to do this, 30 minutes to work out every day, but we say we're too busy to get into those type things. But 10 pages a day, and if you try to do that, I guarantee you'll wind up reading more. You'll find, okay, I got more than 10 minutes to dedicate to this, especially if it's something that makes you feel good. Reading can relax you, can inspire you. So definitely reading is something I definitely suggest. And it's probably the easiest of things that's on my list to do. And books are free if you go to the library. So you can't say books cost too much and all that type of stuff. And you can find my books in libraries as well. And if you don't see it at your library, request it. Number 3 is going to be personal development courses. Now, I know you've seen online places like Udemy, edX, and then LinkedIn has LinkedIn Learning, where you can take courses. A lot of these courses are free or really inexpensive and give you the knowledge on certain things. And it's like, I would challenge you to do this find courses in something you're interested in. Like even if you're thinking about going to college, like get that extra knowledge before you then try to apply it to getting your higher education. But stuff like technical skills, leadership training, and things that are, for your industry, you can find on those sites that I mentioned. Or trust me, there's plenty of others that you can go to. But I've been to these, and like find a course, take it. It can also give you good practice if you're thinking about going back to school, to see how you will fare learning over materials and then like taking a quiz later. So I definitely suggest taking a professional course, and you can find these at libraries too, to take, especially if you want to do like an in-person kind of thing. Like I think if I go back to school, once I get everything the way I want, where I'm working Daddy Every Day full time, I want to go back to school, but I don't want to take online classes. I actually want to go back into the physical building, which is going to, take up a lot of time. But that's something I'm definitely going to try to work out later in life. I almost feel like I have unfinished business with college. I have an associate's and a bachelor's, but I feel like I want to go after my master's only to, for me, like a personal goal, and then something to demonstrate to my boys, as far as like what they're able to, go after in life. So, and I push education to them all the time. So I want to lead by example, sort of say. So definitely professional development courses is a good way to go. Number 4, mentorship programs. As long as I've been in the industry as far as nonprofit and being an author, I've never truly got a mentorship, excuse me. There's been guys that I trust and respect professionally, but I've never got into the true them being my mentor, them leading me, them guiding me kind of thing. Like I've been that to others, like in particular to fathers and authors, like other authors I've lent my expertise on and helped them walk through the process of releasing their own book. And fathers, just whether it's through podcasting, through workshops I've done, and just personal connections, when fathers reach out to me, I've been that mentor, but I've never truly had a mentor. So I'm going to try to get I won't say try, I'm going to get a mentor to like really guide me in this nonprofit space. I still have some hiccups because as much as I want to help people, I have to learn to ask for help. And not just in the things that I can't do in the, certain knowledge that I don't have right now, but like in fundraising. Like it's hard for me to ask people to fund what I'm trying to do, even though people have shown me that they respect it. Some people donate on their own, like whether it's to Daddy Everyday CashApp or PayPal, but I have to get out of that mindset of like, I'm not asking people to give me money. I'm asking people to buy into what I'm trying to do to help fathers, families in the community. So I definitely need to get myself a mentor to help better me as far as this nonprofit space. But there's plenty of professional organizations that have mentors you can reach out to, and then community groups that have it. I know score.org, you can find a mentor and things like that. So these things that I'm giving you guys, a lot of this stuff I'm using for myself. I've already done, or I acknowledge that this is something that I need to do. So trust me, we're in this together. So a lot of this stuff, this is not one of those podcasts where I have all the answers. I've done it all. Like a lot of the stuff I'm learning. And as I'm learning something, I want to pass on the information out to you guys. So definitely get a mentor in whatever space you're in. Even if you're just a dad, you work your 9 to 5, you come home to your kids, I still challenge you to get a mentor to just help you as far as going to the next level. Like finding a mentor who has older kids and, you have young kids, like they've already been there in fatherhood. So like I do that a lot of times too, like where I have fathers that have, 3, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds and things like that. And I tell them some of the phases I've been through with my boys kind of thing. and see information from other fathers. Like I'm navigating Kendrick getting ready to go to college. I've never been in this space before. This is brand new to me. And I talk to fathers that have kids that are in college and what it's like navigating that last year of high school and things like that. So, and I don't have any experience to even pull from because like my folks weren't as involved with me going to college and things like that. And they just, that's something they never experienced. So it's like one of those things where parents can only do so much unless they seek knowledge else. And my parents really didn't seek out additional knowledge as far as trying to get into school. Their thing was, graduate high school, get a job. And that was great enough for them. But for my boys, I wanted to take a step further with them. So I have to seek out knowledge and what I've been through going to college myself and the things I learned, I want to definitely pass on to them. So in other words, get a mentor. Number 5, networking events and conferences. I've really fallen off. And I think a lot with COVID, the last couple of years have dropped off the amount of these that they have. But I used to be big on going to conferences and networking events. I suck at networking. I'm one of those dudes. Like, I've let plenty of opportunities pass by me because of my lack of networking skills. So that is something I have to improve on. So I've challenged myself to at least go to one networking event every month. So I have to find one to get in for January. But these conferences is a great way to learn about whatever industry you're going into and to meet other people, obviously, that are on different levels. There are people that not where you are, people that are on your same level, and then people trying to take it to the next level. So that's a great way for you to learn and obviously network. So I'm going to see myself in those spaces. When it comes to workshops, I'm used to conducting workshops, but it's still more I can learn, like definitely in the nonprofit space and author, as far as being an author too, doing bigger book releases, things like that. So check them out. They are now ramping up where there's more conferences and workshops and networking events. And if you can't find one, I say start one. Like start a networking event, get a space at the library. And you may hear me say the library plenty of times because that is a great resource for obviously learning, workshops. They have spaces there for events if you want to conduct an event. Like maybe even conduct a networking event of like-minded people and you guys are there and help me turn into a brainstorming session. So definitely networking events and conferences is a great way to empower your mind. All right, so number 6, online educational communities. These are like just forums that discuss, learning and personal development and professional development as well. And it gives you an opportunity to ask questions, like-minded people. So this is a great resource right here. I don't have any that I would suggest. I've seen some. Don't really want to suggest them because some of them seem like they were trying to sell things and stuff like that. So I don't have one, but I say just do your research on them. There's plenty out there. Number 7 is just cultural development, just learning more about our culture, the Black culture, our community, our history, going to museums, cultural events, and things like that can really spark up things inside of you, inspire you too as well. Like seeing other leaders in our past and with me doing this episode the day before MLK's birthday, it's one of those things, of course, on TV, they're ramping up the things they're showing on TV. Who that? Young Dro birthday tomorrow too. Great. And my sister-in-law Allison. Oh, shout out to Allison and Young Dro if you're watching. Happy birthday. But it's a great way to expand your mind, basically. Obviously, the stories they tell about us is not even the half of it, of like our great leaders and things like that. So definitely check out a museum, especially if you haven't been in a while. Like museums they when you see it on TV, like in movies or whatever, they seem boring, but action museums are pretty cool. Like if you go to the right exhibit. So definitely check that out. Number 8, your entrepreneurial endeavors. Like if you have a side project or things like that, I say execute. Go ahead and put it out there. If you bake the best damn cookies, if you can truly sing, go ahead and just start sharing your talents with the world and everything. Because I think a lot of holdup is people are afraid of setting up the business structure of things. I say just do it, and then you learn along the way. Because it's better to experience, fail. Now you know you learn what to correct, that type of thing. A lot of people want to just sit on knowledge and try to keep just educating themselves, but without doing any action. And that's what I used to do back in the day. I would just learn all these things, but never apply them. And then when I applied them, I would fail, and then I'll go right back to trying to learn everything all over again instead of learning as I go. So I'm actually having movement along the way instead of just waiting and then later discovering I'm still not where I need to be. So if you have anything like that book, like I was discussing earlier, if you have a book idea in you, your business idea, go for it. Just go ahead and try. Talk to somebody you trust about as far as getting advice, encouragement kind of things. Don't tell everybody what you're doing, like especially if you feel kind of vulnerable about doing it, because most people talk you out of doing something that can be scary. Talk you out of something that they're not doing. Like I've like with the book, when I wrote my first book, I was told to don't do a book, just write a blog kind of thing. Like, because writing a book seemed too big of a task to take on. Who you think you are, Stephen King, that kind of thing. So you have to be careful who you tell your big ideas to. But I would say go for it, regardless of what it is. If it's not going to hurt your family, go for it. Because I know later in life, as we get older, it's harder to pursue your dreams. But you kind of have to. You have to make yourself feel whole. Because let's say if I sat on my passion of working with fathers, that kind of thing, and I just focused on just being a dad just to my boys, I would feel incomplete. So if you're feeling that like you're lost, it's probably because you're not working in your purpose. And if you know what your purpose is, go for it and don't worry about what people are going to say. All right. So number 9 is interesting because you guys are watching it right now, a podcast and webinars. These are great resources to find out what's going on in the industry that you're interested in, and just to open your mind. Like, they're podcasts for entertainment and those type things, and documentaries done through podcasts and things like that. So this is a great resource just to broaden your horizon as far as whatever area you're interested in, or not even areas you're interested in, to give you new perspectives on things you've never even thought about. I listen to a lot of football podcasts. I actually don't listen to as many fatherhood podcasts as you would think, because I don't want to sound like anybody else in particular. I'm scared because there's some great ones out there that the ones I do listen to, I just don't want to make sure I don't take on the persona of theirs. I want to make sure I keep my own voice. So I don't watch as many fatherhood podcasts, but there are some great ones out there, and I'm going to have to share that with you guys as well. But I listen to where business, like even if it's not dealing with nonprofit, I like to listen to business podcasts because they'll give me a perspective on things that I can possibly apply to my endeavors. So definitely checking out podcasts is a great way to expand your mind. And number 10, which is possibly the number 1 in my mind, is health and wellness, physical and your mental well-being. So I've already had my physical for the year. Like, I make sure I do that because as I'm getting older, all those commercials about if you're over 45, them commercials apply to me now. My sons always look at me when those commercials come on as if whatever they're talking about, that's what I'm going through or something like that. So find out what's going on with you, because like I have high blood pressure, so I have to take medication for it. It's one of those things that I may not be able to shake because I don't have any symptoms of having high blood pressure, but it's also, that's the way my mom died of a heart attack. So it's one of those things, and I'm 48. She was 49 when she passed. So it's been on my mind for years. So like now I feel it even more just thinking about it. So I try to make sure I keep my health intact. I go see the doctor on the regular. If anything's wrong, I'm quick to send my doctor a message, because I am nothing without my health. Like if I'm not healthy, I won't be able to do the things that I need to do in life. So, and it goes same with your mental health. Like that can take a toll on you as much as a physical problem with you. So you have to make sure you're taking time for yourself to relax, to learn, whatever it is that brings you comfort. You got to make time for it. I know we're so busy out here, whether it's raising kids, working a 9 to 5, even pursuing your passions, but you have to take time for yourself to make sure that you're in a good headspace and health-wise as well, because you are nothing without health. Like there's a cliche, health is wealth. It's really true. It's really true. Because I would rather be doing what I'm doing now healthy than to be, a millionaire and I'm suffering all these different types of health problems. You can't even enjoy life then. So make sure you're taking care of your health, your mental wellness, and all that. So real quick, the higher education, reading, taking personal development courses, mentorship programs, networking events, online educational communities, cultural development. Like I'm go to a museum. That's all I can say on that. Your entrepreneur endeavors, podcast, and health and wellness. Those are the top 10 ways to empower your mind, to learn and thrive. And as a bonus, I want to go over some other quick notes before I get out of here. One, I'm on TikTok. I wasn't trying to fight it. It's just TikTok wasn't my thing. And I was told, hey, you really need to start putting some of your stuff on TikTok so people can discover you. So I am on TikTok, daddyeveryday_. And as soon as I start putting videos up, I started getting new subscribers, people reaching out saying, hey, love the TikTok video. So they checked out my episodes of the Daddy Everyday podcast. So even in my old age, and I challenge all the others, don't resist change and new things, because I think that's part of it. Was I was like, all right, I do this, that's enough. I don't need to do TikTok. Like, you probably won't still see me on there dancing or nothing, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe if I did something with my boys, but I don't really dance for the camera. But it was a great resource. And now I start to follow some other people on TikTok as well. So I won't boo-hoo TikTok anymore. And yesterday I did something with my accountability brothers. Shout out to my accountability brothers group that I'm in. It's a Black male community group where we go out and just do different things. Yesterday we did a cold water therapy where 7 o'clock in the morning, we went out to Whitewater Creek and did the cold water plunge. Now, for some of us that have back problems and things like that, it was great for them. One dude went in, he had back issues. He came out, he said his back felt amazing. It's good for your joints and all these other things. They listed up several things. Also good for helping reduce high blood pressure, but it was cold as heck. I can't even say cold as hell because hell is hot. It was freezing, but it was a great experience. We're going back doing our hike next month, but completely a great experience. And the other thing I want to leave you guys with is that I'm working on 2 new books, And I will be starting my own publishing company. Like for my first couple of books, they're not under my own imprint. So I will start my KDB publishing. So I'll start publishing all my books through there, as well as I'll probably down the line re-release my previous books so they're on my own imprint. But I'm super excited about that. And then when I start sharing that with some of the other people I work with, now they're ready to get their books out of them.
Will other people be able to publish through your publishing company?
Yes, they will. That's the goal, is to so I can get these books out of people that are that say they have this idea. I want to be able to set up something where I can help you, guide you through the publishing. The writing part first, obviously, because that's the biggest part, because the publishing part is not that difficult. But like to get the book out of people and then get it published. So I'm really excited about that. So give you guys more details on that. As soon as I get it, I'll put information on daddyeveryday.org. So I guess now you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and check out daddyeveryday.org for information on upcoming events, because I'm trying to get this workshop together for this month, and to not only myself visit networking events, but to create events every month. Still doing the fundraiser for the Daddy Everyday Community and Resource Center, because that's my goal, is by fall of this year to be full-time working in my own community center. So a lot of great things going. Thank you to all my new subscribers. That's all I got for you guys today. Empower your minds, learn, explore, take a chance, and just go after it. All right. Till next time, guys.